Today's lesson, how to draw a cartoon Bugs Bunny. Hey, it's John-Marc and thanks for checking out this video on teaching you how to draw cartoons. Today's lesson, as you already know, we're going to be learning how to sketch and draw this lovable character Bugs Bunny. As you'll be watching this video, I'll come from time to time on and I'll just let you sit back and enjoy the pencil sketching. What I really want you to pay attention to is how I'm actually sketching. I'm using a blue pencil right now. Typically, you don't always have to do that. You can actually use your regular traditional lead, like a number 2 pencil. I'm just doing it to show you how I can really sketch out very simple, the basic shape and the form, and then from there, I'll follow up with a darker lead, a typical number 2, HB, number 2 pencil. But I'm actually drawing all this on my computer right now to make things a little bit easier for videotaping. Anyway, so what you'll see me do is I'm basically sketching out. I'm not tracing lines. I'm actually trying to build the shape of the characters. I start with his head, as you notice, and his cheeks. Then I build around his body, his tails, and his legs. Now I'm right on top of his ears right now. The key thing that I want you to really learn is sketching. And the thing that I can see a lot of times, a lot of these video classes that I've been watching online are leaving off is this technique. And to be a better artist or an animator or an illustrator, this is a proper way of learning. And I want to really emphasize that over and over again. With my 30+ years experience in working for companies like Marvel, Warner Brothers, and DC, these are wonderful techniques, and Disney, wonderful things I really want you to learn to make sure that you can get to be a better artist. Some of the best things I've really done is children's books and video games. I love video games. And a little secret, I'm actually working on some of that stuff right now. Building. If you check out my website, you'll see some of that blogs and information coming out. Okay, enough with that. Now, as you can see here, I'm working on Bug's mouth. I've worked on his little cheek over here, and it got his nose, and it has his teeth up there. Now I'm going to be working on the eyes. As if you notice here, what I'm really just doing, just to get the element, I'll be going back and forth. It's kind of tricky for me because I like to move my paper. So right now I'm moving my Wacom stylus left and right so I can actually get my angle of my arms. It's like typical, like I'd share when my lessons when I teach kids, is use your paper like a steering wheel in a car. It's not like 100 pounds that you can't turn it. Feel free to rotate it. All right, so when I have his nose there, and I'm going a little bit darker. So in the very beginning, I go very light. And as you can see here, it's super light, and it's a very thin brush that I created on Photoshop. Yes, I'm doing this in Adobe Photoshop right now. And then I'll come back, and I might go a little bit heavier on the lines. And all the purposes, you don't need to worry about erasing as well, because then you come back with your lead or your darker lead, okay, typical HB. And then you can actually go a little bit darker at that time. So in the very beginning here, don't worry about the blue lines. If you messed up, that you felt that you overshot his ear or his arms, that's okay. All you just really have to do is come back, and then with the other lead from the pencil, the HB, and you can tighten it up. So as you can see here right now, what we have is a basic hand structure for Bugs, and it's coming all together looking really nice. I'm liking the shape that he has. What you might have to do is actually get some model sheets of the character so you really know what the shape of the character that you're working on. In this case, I had a whole bunch of model sheets that I was looking at to try to make sure I get his proportions right. And hey, this is just a sketch and just playing around. So feel free to use your imagination and creativity to take your style and bring your Bugs Bunny character to look more like your technique. All right, now going a little bit more on his body right now. Getting a little bit more details on there. A little tighter, getting his legs and his back of his feet right now. Oops, that was just a pop-up of my brushes. Alright, yeah, just going back and forth and getting the curve. What you can see here now is what the old-fashioned style of animation and character design. They love to do some overlapping action and kind of have the lines fall into place. There we go. There's his little pads on his feet. Looking good, looking good. And as I share with a lot of kids, here's another opportunity that you can practice as well. It's fun to do. It's not a challenge or any pressure. When you're working on a character such as like a Bugs Bunny or something that you create, it's always nice to see how you are improving. So don't throw away any illustration. Keep each and every one of them, because that's your benchmark to see if you're getting better or how you are performing as an artist. So always keep your illustration and put them inside in a little box or something. Even the ones that you don't like, again, keep them. Those are great referencing so you can see your improvement. All right, let's get the little ears. Will be a little bit heavier right now, a little darker. I gotta get the inside of that ear now too. Let's get the eyelids over in the top there. They got a double one there. Okay, here we go, that little line. And a little overlapping action there on the top there. You can't see too much, but yeah, I'll get that when I get with the darker line in there, the heavier brush. Or I call it brush because I'm working on Photoshop. It's actually like a pencil. And when I do traditional drawing, not on the computer, I love using mechanical pencils more than traditional pencils. I don't have to sharpen them, and they hold the consistency of that shape. It doesn't get too flat. I'll use like an HB primarily, maybe between a 5, 7, and even 9 point. I have all three, depending on the detail that I'm working on. All right, now let's begin the darker lead right now. As you can see, I'm coming back over. There we go. You can go a little slower, more sketchy, less sketchier at this time, and a little bit more control in the pencil, where the blue in the very beginning could have been really, really quick and loose. And now I'm just trying to get a little bit more detail. And I got to move my stylus left and right. All right, finishing up the eyeball over there, coloring it in. And if anything, what you really want to learn here is be able to use your traditional skills that you know on pencil and paper. The computer is not going to make you a better artist. If you have a computer or you don't have a computer, paper is perfectly fine. Because that's all the masters before. They all had traditional paper. They didn't work on computers at all. All right, there's his little mouth, his big tooth in the middle there, Bugs Bunny. I can just hear him talking right now and chewing on that carrot. Let's get that mouth wide open. And always, his tag of tags always is, "And what's up, Doc?" as we all know. All right, there's his tongue in there. All right, this is a little bit slower time. Now you're coming back and tightening it up. And his head over there. Let's get that little cheek over here where his fur fluffing out. Sometimes the end of the furs, you can make it like a hard point, or then you can have like a little curve. There we go. All right. Let's get his hairs on the top. Hair, no pun intended. He is a hare. He is a bunny rabbit. That's looking good. Keeping the time. And I love drawing and sketching like this. It just passes some very, very relaxing time. If you're really stressed out or not so sure what you want to do, perfect time to break out some paper and pencil and just do some sketching. All right. Let's get those fingers going a little bit on him. And as you know, typically we have 5 fingers, but in this case, Bugs Bunny has his 3. I love doing the 3 fingers with the 1 thumb. There we go. All right. A little bit more underneath there. He has like gloves on. That was old times, pretty much a lot of the characters. And if you notice, like Mickey Mouse and some of the other characters, they all had like gloves on it as well. Not so sure where that all started from. I should find that out and do a little lesson on that. All right, let's get that arm there. And really, really good to do is learn anatomy out of a human, because that's what they basically did with Bugs Bunny. So you can see when you're building the arms are in the shape, because you have a arm from the shoulder to the elbow, and the elbow to the wrist. Those are little joints. So when you understand anatomy of a human, you can easily get Bugs Bunny down. All right, let's get that a little bit over, a little bit more there. That's looking good. I'm liking that right now. A little detail there. Cleaning it up. Let's get his ears a little bit sharpened up a little bit better now. There we go. Yeah. Okay, that's looking good. As you notice, the overlap in action, and again, this is just a finished one here. You may want to do it in 2 steps, meaning you have your traditional paper, like a bristle paper, and then you could take it to a light box and take a thinner bristle, not a heavyweight one, or traditional paper, Xerox paper, and put it on top of your light box and retrace it so you don't lose your blue lines. And then you could ink on that bristle after that, so you can see the different steps. That's the only positive thing, pro and con, about the computer and traditional, I would say, because I can have these on multiple layers, like my blue pencil on one layer, my lead graphite pencil on another layer, and then ink on top of that, 3 different layers. So if something happened, I can just redo it and start all over again. That's the only thing I like about the computers. Traditionally, you didn't have it that lucky. Sometimes you either had to redo the entire picture or white out when you're doing comics or any illustration for that matter. So it was a little bit more time consuming and fixing. Oh boy, something that's good to know how to do that traditionally. I got his tail looking good. Okay, let's finish up his feet, and then we can actually just finish this little project right down. There's a little feet there bending up. That's what's nice too. If you don't want to make it straight, as you can see, they're like tipping forward to give some more action, so it's not stiff. He's really laid back, how he's on his belly with his hand on his cheek and the other hand down, hanging on down. There we go. There's the little pads in there. All right, that's looking good. I'm liking that. Get this last one. And as I always say, when you're finishing up any type of project, we always like to sign and date it. So make sure you do that and share it with your family and friends what you just accomplished right now. This is a challenging one, definitely a challenging one. There's a lot of detail in Bugs Bunny, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try challenges. I actually encourage that more so. Something that you don't feel comfortable with, try it. And here's a perfect example. All right, let's just put like a little horizon line in the back, and then I'll just sign it and we can call it a day. Well, thanks for checking out this video, and make sure you check out some of our other videos, because we have over and over a ton of them. Anyways, thanks and have a great day. Don't forget to stop at our website. That's jmg-studio.biz. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy our latest drawing book that's now available on our website, How to Draw 50 Cute Cartoons. So make sure you stop at our website. That's jmg-studio.biz. And thanks a lot.